It happens quietly, without fanfare, in the middle of a tense afternoon at the Newman Ranch. Victor has summoned the family for what he calls an urgent realignment of priorities, and the mood in the room is already uneasy. Victoria paces, Nick watches the doors, and Nikki tries to keep herself steady. The last thing any of them expect is the sudden appearance of Detective Annie Stewart, a woman known for her precision, her instinct, and her ability to step into chaos with clarity no one else can summon. She arrives without an appointment, without warning, stepping into the living room as if guided by something heavier than routine police procedure. The moment she crosses the threshold, the room shifts. Her presence radiates urgency, the kind that makes conversation fall silent in seconds. She doesn't waste time on small talk. She goes straight to Victor, her voice calm but tight, telling him that something dangerous is circling the Newman family, something more serious than the family realizes, something they have underestimated. The warning isn't vague. Annie reveals that there have been movements, patterns of surveillance, anonymous tips that don't align with any ongoing investigations. Someone is tracking the Newmans, studying them, waiting for the right moment to strike. The timing could not be worse, given the family's internal fractures, Claire's emotional turmoil, Victoria's uneasiness, Nick's battles, and Adam's attempt at stability. Annie makes it clear that the threat is connected to someone from the past who has resurfaced with intention, and not in a way the Newmans will welcome. Over the next 2 weeks, the fallout from Annie's warning spreads through Genoa City like ripples on dark water. Victor, always the strategist, tries to tighten security and gather information through his usual channels, but even he begins to sense that the enemy is someone he doesn't fully see. Nikki grows anxious, her instincts screaming that the danger is more personal than professional. Victoria becomes hyper-focused on Claire's safety, convinced that the storm Annie hinted at could involve the same forces that have haunted Claire before. Nick attempts to work with Annie more directly. Their scenes together build an undercurrent of tension, not romantic but rooted in mutual frustration and urgency. Annie keeps uncovering fragments of clues, but each piece leads to a bigger question rather than an answer. Someone is using old Newman weaknesses, old scandals, and old grudges as weapons. Annie warns Nick that families like the Newmans don't just attract enemies, they create them. Meanwhile, Adam feels the pressure more than he wants to admit. Annie's arrival digs up memories of all the times he has been blamed for the wrong threat or the right one. For once, he insists he has nothing to do with the danger emerging, and Annie actually believes him. But Adam also senses that whatever is coming is going to force him into the middle of the fire whether he wants it or not. His attempts to warn Chelsea and Connor come off as paranoia, but Adam can feel something closing in. The investigation grows heavier when a series of unsettling events begin happening around the family. Claire thinks she's being followed. Victoria notices someone accessing Newman Enterprises systems after hours using old credentials. Nikki finds an envelope on the porch containing a single photograph from years ago, one tied to a secret she thought no one else knew. Annie analyzes everything she can, but the deeper she digs, the clearer it becomes that the person orchestrating this threat knows the Newmans intimately. They aren't striking immediately, they're watching, waiting, weakening the family before revealing themselves. Elsewhere, Chance becomes involved in the investigation, although his involvement is complicated by his position and his personal ties to Abby, Nina, and the other families in town. Annie and Chance clash over authority, but they respect each other's instincts. Together they begin piecing together a pattern. One that suggests the enemy is weaving multiple storylines into a single trap. Someone wants to expose hidden truths, reopen old wounds, and strike the Newmans at their emotional core. As the second week approaches, Annie finally uncovers something chilling, a name connected to past violence, manipulation, and psychological warfare. She doesn't reveal it immediately, but her expression makes it clear that whatever she discovered is far worse than she expected. She warns the Newmans that the storm is only beginning, and if they don't unite, they could fall victim to a threat bigger than any of them individually. Her warning leaves Victor staring into the fireplace longer than usual, his jaw tight, his silence heavier than his words. The family realizes they are standing on the edge of something dark, something personal, something that isn't just about power or business, but about vengeance.